introduction.
My name's John Fitzgerald. I'm working with Pro West Roofing. I'm a project manager. Today we're here at the Murad residence. We're going to attempt to do a shingle repair as written on the scope. We're here on the back slope of the roof right now. Just the best place for sunlight right now. Here's one of the shingles that was approved to be replaced on the back roof individually. I'm going to attempt to remove that shingle and then reapply that shingle into place until we can get the proper shingles here. Today, just to demonstrate if the repair is possible or not. So to remove the shingle first, we have to separate this shingle that's damaged, the seal from the shingle below it and the shingle above it, and on the ends from the separate books. So we'll use our pry bar to try and gently remove the seal without damaging the shingle. And then now we have to remove the ones above. This book is open. Want to check to make sure it's not damaging the shingle from the mat.
Right there.
A little bit of transfer here and here underneath this shingle where the seal itself is actually tearing the back matting from this shingle and leaving it on the shingle below, and then tearing some of the top granules and matting from this shingle and leaving it on the bottom of here. So this one will not sit back flat and even and will not seal again. And then this, where the mat is completely torn off, that the lifetime of that shingle is extremely decreased at this point because it's half of the shingle width. So the shingle itself will weather and fade, and what some people will call blistering over time. When you see it there on the bottom strip, that's actually caused from doing a repair with mat transfer. So the shingle has half of the life left in it, and the sun will just eat that alive, and then everything will fall apart in those small areas, which will cause that shingle's lifespan to be decreased by at least half or more. And then here again we have it. You can see, let me get out of the light. You can see there the fibers and everything that are fully exposed just from separating these seals. Now that part of this shingle is going to fall apart extremely fast compared to everywhere else on the shingle and how it was in pre-loss conditions. Now we need to remove the fasteners from this shingle so we can get it out. Now there's a row of nails that go in here, and then the row of nails that go into the shingle above it should be at the top of this shingle, and that's what we're experiencing here on the end, where these fasteners have been popped but the fastener above it still has not. So I have to relieve this shingle from that fastener, which is going to cause me to lift the fastener here out of this shingle. So the shingle above it now has a fastener blown through it just from trying to remove this shingle. And then we have to install the shingle back into place with the correct amount of exposure. There we go. Now, manufacturer spec states that 5 nails have to be installed in the nailer board across the shingle. These are the distributor specific nails to be installed in their shingles. Now the nailer board is right here. This part of the shingle is actually stronger for holding the nails down, which actually increases the wind resistance rating. If you nail it anywhere else, it'll actually reduce the amount of wind that a shingle can take without being ripped from the roof. will be the last nail. All right, so now that the shingle's installed back into place, you will see from lifting the shingle, we have now caused what they call the dragon teeth on a shingles to be delaminated. So the seal here is now broken, which allows this shingle to flap in the wind and now has absolutely no wind resistance rating. And then you'll see earlier, as I said, that fastener didn't get reinstalled and was popped. It is lifting this section of shingles here. Now we can attempt to get that through. Okay. Seem to have seated properly. Now, luckily we didn't seem to cause any major issues with fasteners on the surrounding shingles. This fastener over here still is sealed. This one did get blown, so I do need to drive a new fastener back through that shingle. Luckily it's here on the left end of the book, which makes it a little bit easier than when we blow them right in the middle of the whole shingle. Now, after the shingle repair is done, we want to check to make sure that we cause no other damage to anywhere else on the roof. The typical areas around are the two rows of shingles above it and the row of shingles below it. As you saw earlier, we have mat transfer, which is going to cause this shingle to be damaged and not be able to reseal, and the shingle below, the shingle that we replaced. Now also, if you look closely, come here Justin, you'll see all of these granules here pooling up, and that's from the granule loss that's caused from doing the repair. And that's leaving your marks here and your granule loss. Now, if I try and do that on a shingle that we didn't touch, you can see that does not happen. Now you have extreme amounts of granule loss up here from trying to do the repair to the shingle below it. I mean, an entire strip here. And the granules are what actually help protect the shingle from weathering. So here in Arizona, the sun is so detrimental to the life of a shingle. If we take the granules away, that shingle is not going to last. It's also going to make it easier for the shingle when it gets lifted from wind in the future, after it won't seal, to be able to rip in that same spot. So after the sun hits the spot without granules for about a year or so, it's going to start to degrade the meshing and the fibers inside of it. So then when this shingle gets lifted by another strong wind event, it's going to rip that shingle completely off the roof. So by repairing this shingle, we are now going to have to replace the shingle below it and the shingle above it, just to make sure that we get it back to pre-loss conditions. And then again here, we'll see from getting that other fastener, we now have damage to this shingle here. So we're gonna have to replace this shingle, and this shingle. And that's gonna continue to grow as we go up the roof. So by replacing this shingle, we're gonna end up having to go up this way, all the way to the ridge line. And then we're gonna have to go down in a triangle as well, all the way until the flat roofing system. And then when we get down here to replace this shingle, the potential of causing even more damage, because this shingle here is going to be sealed to your modified bitumen. So, as you see here, we're having this seal here take chunks of this modified bitumen roofing system off with it, just trying to separate the seal, and this shingle getting completely stuck to it and leaving this so the next shingle is not going to sit flat. And we're gonna have to do this for about 3 shingles over, which is going to cause this flat roofing system to now lose granules and have meshing exposed to weathering, which again is not going to be in pre-loss conditions. So we will do our best to not damage this as much as we can, but until we pull this roofing system off, we're not going to know how much damage gets done to this roofing system. If during the replacement of this roof, we run into the fact that we damaged it in 15 different areas, we'll have to photo document that and send it to you guys so that you guys can understand what we ran into on site and make the adjustment then. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.